On this channel before, we've definitely covered quite the extensive range of luxury men's t-shirts. I mean, we've tried out the Mertzby Schwannens of the world, we've tried out the Left Fields, we've tried out the Lady White Co's, we've tried out the Pool House New Yorks, we've tried out the Blue the Chauffes, and don't get me wrong, I love all of them. And all in all, every single t-shirt and every single brand serves a different purpose. They have their own type of look, they have their own type of feel, their own ethos, they have their own way of construction, manufacturing, their own way of exuding their own details throughout their design. And I have to say, guys, there's truly nothing like owning a luxury t-shirt, which is why on this channel and on my TikTok, all of my other pieces of content, we have cycled through and covered so many different t-shirts. And it's funny because I feel like t-shirt content is probably my most popular and most viewed content. Some of my renowned videos are of t-shirt comparisons and reviews. But today we're going to tackle something a little different when it comes to t-shirts. We're going to tackle something that's basically unseen in the industry, and we're going to do a deep dive into a brand that was started out of a passion project. And today from this brand, we're going to showcase quite literally some of the most interesting garments that I've ever received. So long story short, I finally got my hands on basically the heaviest weight t-shirts in the world, I believe, from this incredible brand called Wonderlooper. And for those who haven't yet been introduced to this luxury brand, basically Wonderlooper is a passion project that was started by two of the most knowledgeable, most well-seasoned, and most respected individuals in the niche menswear scene, who are my good friends Behzad and Risa, who actually sought out the finest materials available in the world and meticulously designed this brand from the bottom up in order to not only create the most competitive heavyweight t-shirt ever, but also the most heavyweight hoodies, long sleeve crew necks, sweatpants, and so many other garments that not only showcase their knowledge and prowess that they've amassed within the fashion industry, but also showcase the excellency that is Japanese artisanal craftsmanship. Now, for those who don't know, Behzad and Risa have been around for a long time, working and spearheading content and design for other brands, but since have dedicated themselves wholeheartedly to the development of quite possibly the heaviest t-shirt in the world. Now, I'm not sure how much gravity that statement has, but I can definitely tell you, these are not only the heaviest t-shirts that I've ever held, they're also the heaviest in terms of gram weight that I've ever seen, and they're also some of the most well-constructed t-shirts I've ever seen as well. So today we're going to talk about the double heavyweight Cultizm x Wonderlooper t-shirt, which is a t-shirt that is not only a collaboration with Cultizm, but is a t-shirt that is double the weight of a standard jersey knit t-shirt. And it is also made with an unbleached cotton, which gives it that kind of ecru kind of look to it, something that's really soft, which I really like because it provides a little bit of a softer contrast as opposed to a standard white when it comes to styling darker outfits and such. And I have to say, the double heavyweight was heavy enough to be the heaviest t-shirt that I had ever felt and had ever held in my own hands. But then I also got my hands on the triple heavyweight Tsuriami Wonderlooper t-shirt in the black colorway, which completely blew away the double heavyweight in terms of how dense, how thick the fabric is. I mean, I was so surprised when I literally picked up the package before I even unboxed these. The package itself actually had so much weight to it. I was like, wow, you know, it's really hard to convey just the gravity of how heavy these t-shirts are over the internet, over pictures. And admittedly, when I first had seen them, I wasn't really sure how they would feel or how the weight would convey itself. And then I got them and I was like, no, this actually is exactly what you think it is. It is a very dense, very heavyweight garment. And what's really interesting is when I first got them, it was completely unlike what I had expected in terms of fit, because the cotton used for these garments, which I believe is Texas cotton, actually feels really smooth on the skin and is not at all abrasive or rough. It actually feels very wearable without wash. Right out the box, not only the double heavyweight, but the triple heavyweight had this incredible feel, this real luxury drape to it, and on the body evokes this presence that you quite literally just don't get with any other t-shirt. So now going into the details of the ecru Cultizm colorway that we have here, immediately you start to see a little bit of the hairiness of the cotton, especially around the collar, which I really love. I love a garment that has a slight texture to it, and this Wonderlooper cotton, while it is very soft, also gives off that texture. And as I say all the time on this channel, one of my favorite things is a nice binded collar on a t-shirt, and the double heavyweight, which is Wonderlooper standard, comes fully kitted out with this beautiful binded collar that's so expertly crafted. And what that's going to do is it's going to prevent the collar from fraying or bacon necking, which you see on a lot of t-shirts, namely the Uniqlos. This collar is meant to uphold its shape and uphold its quality for a very long time. Now, you you will actually notice on the Cultizm fabric that there seems to be a little fleck or a little cotton seed in there, because from what I understand, this is made with an unbleached or undyed cotton, which to me is really cool because basically you're getting the true essence of what cotton is from a fiber perspective, and not a lot of brands will offer that to you. And the cotton seed inside this fabric that you could see definitely upholds to that unbleached term. Another one of my favorite details on this t-shirt is definitely the side seam. I really love the stylistic detail that they took on the double heavyweight when it comes to the side seam. It gives off this really nice pattern. I'm not entirely sure what stitch this is, but it is unlike a traditional serge seam, but this one is truly exceptionally done. I mean, there's no loose threads at all really, and I just love the look that that gives off, and I think it really helps sell the luxury feel and sell the heavyweight look of this t-shirt as well. The hem on this one is cleanly done. It's just the traditional t-shirt hem that's done on usual heavyweight t-shirts, just very tightly sewn down. There's no loose threads on the hem as well. There's also not a lot of excess fabric, so they really cleaned up the seam allowance beautifully, which you really don't see on a lot of other t-shirts. I've seen so many t-shirts, namely the lady whites, that have a lot of extra seam allowance at the hem. I mean, to go out of your way to do that from a brand perspective is not only expensive, but it's also time consuming. And to get that through quality control, I mean, it really just shows the passion that Behzad and Lisa have over at Wonderlooper, because that just shows how much they really care about delivering a quality product. And I mean, again, the texture on this cotton for the ecru colorway with the Cultizm collab is just truly luxurious. It's beautiful. It's got some slub to it, but it's primarily got this hairy texture that I think is only going to get better and better and only going to get softer and softer with wash and wear. It's also got a nice amount of elasticity, but it's also got great recovery because of the way that it's woven. But with that, I still would recommend that you size up when you get a Wonderlooper t-shirt, because while the nature of t-shirts is to stretch, yes, when it gets to a t-shirt that is structured as this, you definitely want a little bit of extra slack, a little bit of extra room. So for example, me natively, I usually go with the size medium, but in the Wonderlooper, I decided to go with the large because I typically like to wear my t-shirts pretty skin tight when it comes to the thinner ones, but this offers a completely different look as well as a completely different feel. So I would recommend sizing up. But even with the size up, these t-shirts fit beautifully. They've got the perfect length. They've got the perfect look around the arm. The cotton drape is supreme. And again, it just gives off this look that you really don't get with any other t-shirt, whether it's heavyweight or not. But yeah, guys, this double heavyweight Cultizm collab is a limited release that at the time of this video came out yesterday. So definitely make sure to go check that out on the Cultizm site. I'm going to put the link somewhere around here in the card, as well as the link in the description. Definitely make sure to check those out because they are a limited run and you don't want to miss out on something as special as this. Now we're finally getting to the big boy, which is the black triple heavyweight Tsuriami t-shirt, which, my God, I am surprised that this is not a sweater because it's actually heavier than pretty much every sweater that I have other than cable knits. I mean, this even rivals the weight of those cable knit long sleeves that I have. This is truly an exceptional t-shirt. It's probably my favorite now, to be honest with you. I mean, it almost feels like they took a really soft hoodie material in the most respectful sense and made it into a t-shirt, but that's not what they did. They specially engineered this fabric for t-shirts with an old Japanese traditional make that literally is so slow and so time consuming, so tedious, that it takes an entire hour to make just 1 meter of this incredible Tsuriami fabric. I mean, dude, as soon as I held this, I noticed the immediate difference from the double heavyweight to the triple heavyweight, and I can see why this t-shirt cost as much as it does. I would truly be surprised if this was not the heaviest weight t-shirt ever made, at least for everyday regular consumer use. Now, the thing is, when you get to a t-shirt fabric of this caliber, one, there are certain factories that will literally just refuse to manufacture the fabric, and then there are certain factories that will absolutely refuse to even make anything out of the fabric. So Behzad and Lisa not only went out of their way to find a facility to make a fabric of this caliber, but they also had to find machinery and people who are willing to sew it together. But I mean, this fabric is super intense, and one way I know that it's super intense is because the face of the fabric is actually actually completely different from the bottom or the warp of the fabric, which you usually only see on super complex weaves like denim or corduroys or high pile fabrics. But this is probably the first knit that I've ever seen that has that kind of back that's different from the front or the face of the fabric. And again, even though this fabric is super heavyweight and very dense, it glides on the skin so beautifully. It drapes so nicely, and it doesn't feel too aggressive. It doesn't feel unwearable. It's super wearable out the box. I love the way that this looks. I mean, you can even see that on the armhole, they also have that seaming detail that was on the side seam, not only on the double heavyweight, but also on the triple heavyweight as well, which gives it a really kind of heavyweight look, which is something that I really like because I've always wanted a t-shirt that looks like a sweater, if that makes sense. And this has definitely filled that void in my wardrobe. I also love the construction detail on the shoulder seam, where you can even see the stitching on the outside, which again just gives a little bit of that sweaterish kind of look, which I absolutely love. And looking at the t-shirt from the inside, at the hem as well as the side seams, there's absolutely no loose threads, nothing but quality. There's no excess fabric outside of the seam allowance. This is just an extravagantly made t-shirt, and it's all finished off with my favorite binded collar, which we all know I love so much. And I always recommend everybody look for this type of collar because you don't want bacon neck on your collars at all. And again, the fit with the Tsuriami t-shirt is masterfully done. I sized up to a large because something of that weight is definitely not going to feel good if you want it skin tight. These garments are not meant to give you that type of look. They're meant to kind of glide on the body as opposed to hug the body because of the weight that they have. And I think if you go too tight on the body, you're probably going to be uncomfortable. But as I always say, if you know your measurements, or if you know the measurements of a garment that you truly love, definitely compare it to the Wonderlooper size chart, or reach out to either of them over at Wonderlooper and just politely ask if you can get help with the sizing, because they're more than happy to do that for you. But yeah, all in all, these t-shirts are Japanese excellency at its core, at its finest, and I would confidently say are one of the, if not the heaviest weight t-shirts ever made. But yeah guys, definitely make sure to check out the Tsuriami t-shirts as well as the Cultizm t-shirt. I will put the links to both somewhere as well as in the description. These sell out really fast, so make sure to act fast because the sizes are going. These are definitely a lot of fun to have in rotation, and it's just a grail piece that you can not only hold on to probably for the rest of your life, but something that you could pass on to your kids, because these are garments that are truly special, and they're engineered for longevity and durability. But yeah guys, thank you so much Bezad and Lisa for sending over these t-shirts. I was so happy to finally get Wonderlooper on the channel to compare these two heavyweights. And yes guys, I did spend my own money on this. Don't think that I'm just saying good things about them because I love them. I truly believe in them, and I truly believe in the mission and the brand Wonderlooper itself. And if I didn't believe in the product, then it wouldn't even make it to the channel. Definitely make sure to go check out their live streams, which I believe they're doing every Friday at 7 Eastern Standard, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, I'll correct it somewhere. But make sure to check out their channel, go follow their Instagram, check out their website. They're both so wonderful and knowledgeable. I can't express that enough. And hopefully when I go to Japan, maybe we'll be able to show a little bit of how the t-shirts are made, as well as maybe some monogramming, because they do offer a monogramming service for these t-shirts. But make sure that you know your size before you go and get a t-shirt monogrammed. But anyways guys, I gotta head out. Thank you so much for the recent love on the channel and the previous videos that we posted up this month. You guys have been killing it, and I finally have some ideas for the 10K subscriber celebration, so stay tuned on that. But if you have any other ideas, definitely drop it down in the comments. We're gonna be hitting that mark soon, and I can't wait to celebrate with you guys. So anyways, with that being said, thank you guys again, and I'll see you next week.